Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. Great children's musical special delivery, all 4 services, all 3 campuses today. We look forward to seeing you. But right now, let's go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, beginning with verse 1. I want to read you the entire passage. It's a short passage for our reading today. The great and wondrous sign appeared in the heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head. Now that takes us back to Genesis 37, verse 9. It's talking about Israel, the same vision that Joseph saw back in Genesis 37. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon, Satan, with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on his head. His tail swept away a third of the stars out of the sky, the stars of the angels. When Satan rebelled in heaven, he took 1/3 of the angels with him and flung them to the earth. Now notice, demons are not in hell. Demons were flung to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth so that he might devour the child. What did Satan try to do at the birth of Jesus? Kill him. She gave birth to a son, a male child, Jesus, who will rule and all the nations with an iron scepter. And her child was snatched up to God and to his throne, and the woman fled to the desert to a place prepared for her by God, where she would be taken care of for 1,260 days. Now, we're talking about Israel as the woman, Satan is the dragon, and Jesus is the child that was born. Now, there's a lot of material in this passage, but let me just focus on Jesus. He will rule with an iron scepter. When the 1,000-year reigns begin, I want you to understand that there will be no democracy on the earth. I'm sorry for those of you who think that democracy and Christianity are the same things. They are not. When Jesus rules and reigns on this earth, he will rule with an iron scepter. There will be no disagreement. There will be no challenge. Now, for some of you, even to make those statements, you mean Jesus will be a total, absolute dictator? He will be a total, absolute dictator. Totally benevolent dictator, but he will rule and reign with an iron scepter. Now, for those of us that love Jesus, forgive me, that does not scare us and that does not bother us because we understand, yes, he will rule with an iron scepter. In fact, other scriptures in prophecy talk about how if a nation refuses to pay tribute and bring their offerings, he'll just withhold rain from that nation for the year. He will rule with an iron scepter. But if that bothers you in your heart, please forgive me, you have a problem with your heart.